How's it going, everybody? It is the Moto Medic. I'm back, and I got a really quick, really easy thing to show all of you guys that have never done this before. I'm going to show you how to fill and charge your new battery. Here we go. So the other day, I got a message. The guy bought a new battery, and he checked his charging system based on my video, and he just didn't have everything kind of working right. And he couldn't figure it out. And I was asking him some pointed questions like, was it a off-the-shelf charged battery, or was it one you have to fill and charge? Well, it ended up being one that he has to fill and charge. So when you buy a new battery, let's take this brand new Yuasa battery that I just bought from my Harley. You might notice that sometimes it'll have a box that resembles this, and then it's got something inside of it that's got some battery acid in there. It doesn't just automatically charge itself. You actually have to do some other stuff. So today, I'm going to show you how to put this crap in one of these craps before you put it in that crap. If your bike's crap, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I was just kidding. Nobody's bikes are crap, and we love them all. Every one of them is special to us. They make our hearts beat with joy, especially in this COVID-19 coronavirus outbreak, when it's the only respite we get from actually not having to hang out with our gosh darn families. Am I right? I'm going to show you guys how to put this safely and properly into this safely and properly. This isn't really a difficult process. And if you've ever had to do this before, you can pretty much stop the video and go ahead and move on with your day. This is for the beginners in the group that have never done this before and don't know exactly what they're doing. But you will always find in one of these things, you will find an actual instruction manual that tells you how to do everything. First things first, we need to get the battery out. So this thing isn't quite as heavy as it's gonna be yet, but it is still pretty heavy because it is a lead acid battery. So the first thing you want to do is place it on a level surface and remove the sealing tape. That's by the book, that's in the instructions written right there. Step one. This isn't hard, but I have had people, obviously, like I said, people have actually called me and said, I don't know why my battery isn't working. I'm wearing gloves because, safety first, and that's just kind of the way I am anymore. My hands are important to me, and I don't want to get coronavirus from this battery. Now, this particular battery makes it super duper easy and has these cool little sharp little spiked things that thing's going to squish down onto. So it makes this battery really particularly easy to fill and chill. The next thing you're going to do is remove the electrolyte container from the bag. This would be this part. This would be the bag. This would be the electrolyte container. Like that. And remove the electrolyte container from bag. And as we did with the box previously, chuck it. You can even do with that box too. Now, while this thing says on it, I don't know if you can read that, do not open, we in fact do kind of have to open it. Don't puncture this foil with anything aside from the battery when you go to put it on, all right? So fill the battery with electrolyte. Basically, that's going to mean, simply put, we're going to place this bad boy right up on those sharp little tangs, and we're going to go just like that. And now, you're going to start to see that little sucker start to get some bubbles going in it. And you are, in fact, filling the battery. Always go by the book. It's not hard to follow instructions. So while this thing is filling and chilling, I'll go through a couple of things here. While this thing says do not tilt the container, tilting the container could stop the flow of electrolyte. This thing is perfectly straight up and down. It also says never remove the container from the battery until the container is empty. That we will not do. It's going to take a little while. If it takes a really super long time, if you can wake up in the morning and this thing isn't empty, well then you did something wrong. It's designed to go ahead and let it flow into the battery. Basically, you're going to check for bubbles, which indicate the electrolyte flow. If you've got bubbles coming up and you see these things dropping in level, A-okay, bud. Alright guys, so now that thing's all done, remember this thing that we took off of that guy? Well, we're going to use it next. But now, we just want to make sure we got all the rest of that stuff out of there, so I kind of wiggle it back and forth. It should be totally empty. as we saw in the time lapse, and then I will put that kind of over a piece of cardboard so it doesn't drain on all of my brand new workbench. Then you're gonna take these guys right here. You can just go ahead and slack that on down in there, real nice. Then I'll grab just a dead blow hammer. Just like that. Now that step one is complete, we have in fact got a battery that we can work with. And you'll notice that this battery is warm. But that doesn't mean that it's doing anything wrong. That in fact means that it's doing everything right. 12.19 volts. That's pretty good. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do, and what most people end up forgetting to do on these, is actually putting it on a good charger for about a half an hour. Okay. So I know you're looking at me going, but Motomedic, isn't that a bit excessive for a motorcycle battery? The answer that would really be the honest answer is yes. It's very much way too excessive for your average motorcycle battery. But what I do like about this charger is it's like many bigger chargers is it's got a timer on it and it can charge at 20 amps. So basically when you get a battery like what we just have, we filled it, and it'll have 12.5 volts, and it's probably okay to start the bike, but what you want to make sure is that it's got a really full charge. And that's going to take about 20 minutes on a 20 amp charge. Maybe 25, 20, 25, 30, depending on what the charge is once you do it. So on the smaller batteries, like say a GSXR 750 or something like that, a smaller battery, you may not get 12 volts out of the thing. So you're going to definitely need to put it on a charger for about an hour. Now, if you don't have something like this, and you have a stopwatch on your cell phone, you can in fact use something very much like this. What this has is it does charge at 12 volts for, look at it there, 6 amps. It'll do a 6 amp charge. Now, while that'll make it work, that will do it, you will have to leave it on there for about an hour and a half. I really kind of like having the ability to set a timer, to select exactly how much amperage I want to throw into that bad boy, and it'll also tell me when the charge is complete. And it's got an amp meter on it. So this is kind of what I'm gonna be charging it with today. I'm gonna only throw it on there for about 20 minutes. I'm gonna set the clock at 20 minutes, and we're gonna give it a 20 amp charge. With a charger that's throwing out 20 amps like this, you don't necessarily want to walk away from it and go to the supermarket or anything. Keep an eye on the battery. Keep an eye on everything that's going on over here. Just make sure it's not getting too out of hand, and then start with maybe 15, 20 minutes. If it's not going for you then, give it another 5 or 10, see how it works at 20 amps. You can always throw it on at a lower amperage, the 6 amp for, and this charger that I'm using will go down to 2 amps, the big one. But this charger here will do 6 amp charge. You can put it on there for an hour, hour and a half, and that'll totally do it too. Trickle chargers won't work. If you're putting a trickle charger on a brand new battery that's never had a significant charge in the first place, your trickle charger or your battery tender is only going to get it basically where it's at. It'll take a long time for you to ever get a full charge out of a brand new battery on a battery tender or a trickle charger. All right, so we're charging. We got 20 minutes on the clock. Our charge, it does say charge is complete. We're charging at 13.5 volts, which is basically roughly what you're gonna charge what your bike is gonna charge your battery at. You're gonna be right there in the middle. So I'm gonna actually back this one off because this one's doing pretty well. I'm gonna give it about 15 minutes at 20 amps, and we should be good to go. So there you have it, guys. It's pretty much as simple as that. It's not hard, it's super easy, but if you did fill that battery, you gotta charge it. So there you go. That's as easy as it is. I'm gonna go ride since the bike's out there and I already got the battery in it. Thank you very much for checking out the channel. Please hit the subscribe button if you found this informative and you think that I'm entertaining. I really do appreciate every view that I get on here. Keep comments coming. Keep your questions coming. Let's have a good time during this quarantine session, right? So, Motomedic, I'm out. I'm going to say goodbye for now, and we'll see you in a couple more days or a couple weeks and maybe less with another video, because that's right, I'm back. Thank you. Peace. Have a great one.